Survivor's Journal. I finally come to grips with my mistakes concerning the thrust mechanics for this ship, so the actual layout of the thrusters was all wrong. I was never really pleased with it. I don't think it offered enough options for me and enough safety, so I've decided to scrap it and go with a very different design. By this stage, most of the machinery inside this ship is pretty much, at least its basis is settled. So now all I have to do is finish up some components and actually get the insides worked out, and of course get all the materials required to actually build up lots of the already placed wireframes. I also know exactly now what I want for the front of the ship and how I'm going to get that going, but I'm not going to get into that in this journal entry just yet. But right now I am going to explore my options concerning the thrust of the ship, and that being a final note, so I will not make any changes after this design option.
Very well, after that brief introduction, I do believe it's time that I get my hands to work and start figuring out exactly how I'm gonna do this. I really jumped the gun here when I created those wireframes. That was just not to my liking. Structurally, it wasn't. It didn't seem very sound. There was a ton of problems with it, access-wise. So now I think I have it reasonably covered. What I'm planning on doing is, if I can get my blueprints up here, is actually to create a corridor. So the warp drive itself is going to be within this circle here. And what I'm planning on doing is being able to walk around here. Yeah, around these 2 or 3. There you go. These 2 or 3 standard armor blocks, and there will be protection, most probably glass on the inside, possibly even on the outside too. Although on the outside I may go ahead and fill in some spaces with more armor, but essentially that is going to be it. A narrow corridor going all the way through here until I reach this central section here. I can just cut this right off, and I can't really pick this steel plate up, so there it goes. Okay, so it's as of here that I have to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Now, this inside ring is going to have is going to be a little thicker, so it'll go ahead and be kind of like that. So I do have space to install the glass. Actually, I should bring up my my blueprints and let's grab a blueprint for a sloped window. That's actually a 2x2. I want a 1 standard armor block wide window. There you go. And I will be able to place it right there. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this space to move around in. And even here, yeah, a 1 wide gap is enough. So, as I reach this central point here, which I marked on the other side as well, let me just build this out a bit. I will be able to access a hub with both thrusters and gyroscopes. Reactors I should probably keep inside the main hull of the ship, so that section there, which is very well protected. I'm not so sure if I can install any defensive weaponry around here. I think it would be way too obvious. But having a couple of nacelles should do the job that I need them to do. So, if I'm gonna grab a couple of thruster blueprints too. I can't find them. So, thrusters, both... actually, I just want the big ones. I'll install small ones as well as I can. So the thruster should be, yeah, 3x2 standard armor blocks. 3x2. So if I place them 3, 3, 3, that should be 9 standard armor blocks total. I am completely eating up my tongue here. So 9 standard armor blocks high by, let's say, 9x7. 9x7 might work. So let's just mark this out. Let's just go like this, and this should be the best way to make things work. I'll be able to move into... Oh, right, I can't go up right now. I am figuring out an entrance first, so I want a decent space between that main hull, the hull surrounding the warp drive, and the nacelle. Which will give me... Yeah, there you go. This should be more than enough, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 standard armor blocks. That way I have loads of clearance between the thrusters and any ships that might be docked there, or anything else that I might decide to build towards the side here. As we can very well see, those hangars are gonna jut out up to about here, and I'm still not sure how I'm going to store more ships. They might just be clamped onto the sides of the ship, so I would prefer to have this much clearance. So that's all well and good. Now, if I decide that's 7, and let me just build a mock doorway here. There you go. Alright. So, 7 spaces and a mock doorway. That's already 3. So, if I was planning on a 9x7 nacelle, I can just add 3 to the top, and then 3 to the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. And that should be the full nacelle. Okay. Now, as far as length, actually, I'm just gonna mark the width now too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, 7 wide by 9 high. Now, regarding the length, that does not belong there. I'm just gonna pull this from here so that I avoid making any mistakes this early on. There you go. Okay. So 9x7. Now, this should be, or actually this is, more than enough space for me to come inside and actually perform any maintenance that I need. However, I think that I'm gonna... I was just wondering right now how wide the entrance itself would be, but yeah, this works just perfect. So I think I'm actually gonna leave this space open, so that instead of coming inside myself to perform maintenance and repairs, I can just have a small drone doing that for me. And if I'm gonna do that, this should be as open a space as possible. So gyroscopes are going to be... I can fit a ton of gyroscopes in this place without having it too big. If I... I'm afraid that this will be really... This won't be very streamlined if I do it like that. This will give me... Let's see, 1, 2, 3 plus 2. This will give me 3 thrusters pointing forward, 3 large thrusters. And how about... I should have gotten the other blueprints, damn it. Okay, how about small ones? How big are small thrusters? Okay, so these are only 1 standard armor block wide and high too. So that's 18 small thrusters and 3 big ones. That's the same for the other side, so that's 36 small thrusters and 6 big ones. Not sure that's gonna be enough thrust. Although this ship isn't designed to be maneuverable or very maneuverable. This is more of a station than a ship per se. That's why it has shipbuilding capabilities. Still, I might want to go with a two large thrusters. So at least 6 large thrusters. That would be 12 in total. And if I need any more... Yeah, that's the advantage of the nacelle. If I see that I have too little thrust, I can expand the nacelle itself. I can. Yeah, so I'm gonna add a little bit more space. A little bit more space towards the side. So that would be, I want a one gap here, a one standard armor block gap, plus 3 for the large thruster, then 1 wide gap, then 1, 2. Oh no, the large thruster will only be 2. It'll only be 2 wide. So I'm thinking about placing it like this, not like this, like this. So that's only gonna occupy a 2 wide space. So that being taken into account, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the nacelle wall. Okay, I think this might actually be something worth trying out. So there you go. That's more of a wide than a long nacelle. Wow, is this a perfect square? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost. Okay. Not sure about this. No, I screwed something up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be a small thruster row, then 1 large, one small, and yeah, I went one too far. And that, I believe, is a perfect square now, although I wasn't really aiming for a square shape here. But I'm guessing if it works, it works, I mean, yeah. Okay. Now, as far as the size of these things, they don't have to be too big. They can just be, yeah, this. If I do it like this, and let's go 4 to the back too. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that is one. This thing. This will look terrible. I mean, it's not that aesthetics is my main concern here, but I'm kind of worried. I'm trying to make this ship look like a civilian, commercial, or industrial ship. If having such a stubby nacelle that seems to have been absolutely glued together, like haphazardly, this might attract some unwanted attention. I need more. Where did I park Lump? Lump? Yeah, this might attract some unwanted attention. I'm gonna try to build this up and see how it looks. Okay, good to go. That drained a lot of my resources, especially thruster components. I had quite a few, I believe 4,000, but these things take quite a bit of thrusting power. But here is the basic design. Now, I don't yet have all the materials for the back, but as is clearly visible, there is a lot of room for all the gyroscopes that I'll need. I can add them as I need to. In principle, there will be a hatch on top through which drones may enter, as well as this doorway here. So this will be sort of a service hatch. If I can just squeeze through here. There you go. This will be sort of a service hatch, and possibly, depending on the thrusting power that I need, I may end up having more than one of these nacelles on each side. So I believe this design it can be stacked, I'm going to say. I can have an extra one on the bottom, maybe even on the top, although I would like to avoid having thrusters higher up than this, because I don't plan on using the thrusters with the solar sails extended, but it's still something that I would rather avoid, having the solar sails just in front of the thrusters. It can potentially cause damage, but yeah, one nacelle here, one on top, one on the bottom. However, as construction goes on, I will first add thrusters to this nacelle, to the back, then the side, or this side, the starboard side, and up and down thrust as well. And after that, I will start building the other nacelle, where I will immediately add thrust opposite to this side. So port-bound thrust, so that if I happen to actually engage the thrusters on this side, I won't just keep slipping out into the void and not really knowing my location. But this seems like a perfectly healthy design for, or basis of a design for a thruster component to this ship. And I find this a fairly decent place to leave this journal entry at. Hey everybody, thank you very much for watching. A couple of things. First, you probably noticed that there was a lot of jitteriness going on in the first part of the video. The game was lagging really badly. That was due to that patch. Now it has been fixed, or apparently so. That's no longer a problem in principle. But bear in mind that this is an alpha game and stuff is being changed constantly. Also, one more thing, I may be on the verge of getting a job. I just finished my community service, by the way. I'm very happy with that. That part's over, but I may be getting close to getting a job. If so, in principle, it will be a 6-day per week, 8-hour per day job, so time constraints will be severe concerning YouTube videos, especially in the for the first few, I don't know, maybe weeks. Because I have to move in with my girlfriend, and that's probably gonna be a huge constraint. But in any case, I will keep you guys updated. I'm trying to fiddle around with the storyline and the building part of the series, so now I'm gonna try to shake things up a bit, so stay tuned for the next episodes. And until next time, as always, I have been TheNirl, and I hope you have an awesome day.